Hi everyone, I'm Rebecca from DevourDinner.com. Welcome to my kitchen and happy Sunday, everybody. I'm excited to be here. Are you? This is going to be a lot of fun. I've got two different recipes that I'm going to share with you today, one in the Instant Pot and one in the air fryer. And before we get going, let me change my glasses. Welcome, welcome everybody. How are you doing? Say hello in the comments when you have joined in. We can make sure we are all connected here. I am going to drop some links of the recipes we're going to work on so that you have access to those. And then we're going to make sure that we have everything connected. There we go. Hi, Susan. How are you? Susan's from Kansas. Hello, Chris. How are you? Welcome, welcome. It is good to be here. Okay, can you hear me? I need to see some thumbs up or a comment that says that our technology is working. I want to make sure that we are connected. We're live both on YouTube and on Facebook. So that is super important. So let me just check our YouTube setting. It looks like yes. Yes, we are live. Wonderful. Okay. Hi Sigrid, how are you? Hi Amy. Amy is from the Instant Pot 101 for Beginners group. Welcome to you and welcome to all those who have hopped on over from the Instant Pot 101 for Beginners. I'm Rebecca from DevourDinner.com, where I focus on easy to make recipes for busy families using common ingredients. And today we're going to do two fun simple recipes and they go together, which is fantastic, and it's going to be great. So we're going to do an Instant Pot honey garlic chicken over rice, and then we're going to do an air fryer frozen broccoli. One of the things as a mom that I fail at so horribly, please give me some shout outs if you agree, is failing to remember to do a side dish. I get the main dinner portion, but I forget to put something with it. And so I just want to show you how simple and how easy it is to make air fryer broccoli, because it's really that simple. So the first thing we're going to do, if you're following along with me, go ahead and turn the saute button on your pressure cooker. Okay. The other thing that we're going to do is we're going to preheat our air fryer, preheat to 400 degrees. And we're just going to preheat for a couple of minutes. So we'll start the air fryer as well. Now that we've got our Instant Pot heating up, that bottom element is going to get hot. So that's all great. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to start on our broccoli. So I am just using a bag of store brand broccoli. And let's go top down so you can see what I'm doing here. I'm just going to put the broccoli in the bowl. And we're going to drizzle it with a little bit of olive oil, just a tablespoon or two. And then I'm going to sprinkle some seasonings. Use your favorite seasonings. I'm going to use the roasted garlic and herb seasoning from Weber. And again, do what feels comfortable, okay? And then we're gonna toss this up. Now this is frozen right from the freezer. So we wanna get that olive oil kind of dispersed around. With the olive oil on the broccoli, it will help for the seasonings to kind of stick. And if you need to add a little more olive oil, feel free to do so. We're gonna put a little more seasoning because I like it. Now you could do this plain, you could just do salt and pepper, but I like to elevate it a little bit. When my boys were little, tell me if you can relate to this, we would try to get the kids to, eat their vegetables, and they would struggle with it. And so we would call broccoli little trees. And they were happy to eat little trees as long as they could dip it into something, whether that was ranch or whatever. They just wanted to dip it. Sometimes you have to make food fun in order to get your kids to enjoy. Debbie says, oh, so true. Kathy, thank you. Kathy says the volume is great. Deborah says, I can hear you. Wonderful, wonderful. Hello, Lisa. Hello, Susan. Got a great bunch on here today. Welcome. Hi, Phyllis. You made it. Wonderful. And if you are new and just watching me for the first time, welcome. Please say hello in the comments. This is a safe place to ask your questions. In fact, it's a perfect place to ask your questions. There's no silly question. Just ask away, because we're here to help, and we're helping you learn how to use your air fryer and your Instant Pot at home to make some great recipes. Right now we have our air fryer heating up on 400 degrees. We're just doing a quick little preheat. I have also turned the Instant Pot on to saute so that we can get that bottom element heating up. And we're going to, with our honey garlic chicken, we're going to add a little bit of olive oil, and then our chicken. We're going to start browning up our chicken a little bit with some garlic to get that starting to be cooked as soon as it reads hot. Gail says, I don't measure either. You know, there's some things I do measure. If I'm baking, I absolutely measure that flour and that sugar and those ingredients. I don't typically measure chocolate chips. That's measured with love. But I season to taste and what it looks like sometimes. So I don't know how well you can see that. There you go. I'm playing with a new setting on this top-down camera. And it adjusts the light. Look at that. See how it brightens it up as I bring it up closer? Wow, that's really great. Do you guys like that? I'm really playing with it. Okay, we're gonna open this up. Oopsie. And I'm gonna get out this little sheet. Let's put this down. And we're just gonna drop this in. Now, I want to spread it out as evenly as I can. Get those tree stems pointing down to the side. And then we're gonna toss it right back in. Now this is going to cook at 400. And we're gonna cook this for 8 to 10 minutes. And we're just gonna let it do its thing. All right, our pressure cooker is hot. So, let's go ahead and add just a little bit of olive oil. We'll get our olive oil out of the way. And then I'm going to add to it some chicken breast. Now our chicken breast I have cubed up. And today I used 2 large chicken breasts. You could do 1 chicken breast, you could do 1.5 chicken breasts, you could double the recipe, you could do 3 chicken breasts. This makes quite a bit of sauce, so you're not going to be struggling with the sauce, and you'll see. The reason why we're going to brown the chicken is because if we were to put our chicken in there all at once, it was one big clump, and it'll never cook in the center of that clump. So by cutting up our chicken, and we're just gonna brown the outsides, that will keep our chicken separated. I'm going to add a little bit of garlic. Now initially, the chicken is just going to stick to the bottom. It's just gonna stick right at the bottom, and we're gonna let it do its thing. Because as it starts to cook, it will lift off naturally. If I try to rip it off right now, essentially what's gonna happen is it's gonna have lots of stuck pieces, which is going to give us a burn notice later, and we don't want that. So be patient, it's not burnt, I promise, but they will start naturally lifting up little by little. We're already seeing some of them on these edges that are starting to lift up. And that's exactly what we want it to do. Pretty simple. Sigrid says, I've never thought of broccoli in the air fryer. Oh my, listen, you can do fresh broccoli, you can do frozen broccoli. I chose the frozen broccoli today because I thought it was super simple, and I was trying to choose something that made sense to people at home and what you guys might be using. But you can do fresh as well. You would do fresh the same way, but the cooking time changes. There we go. We're starting to get some of these lifting up. See how some will and some won't? See how I'm kind of picking at them? Just let it do its thing. It's going to be just fine. Okay, we've got somebody on from Australia. Who is it? I gotta look. Hi Lisa, how are you? Hi Trelva, how are you? It looks really good today. It's gonna be a great meal. All right. How's everybody's weeks going? It's already into August. I know many have already started school. Kids are going back to school in different states, so we're seeing a lot of that. Here in eastern Idaho, they don't start school until, we probably have another 10 days or so before school starts here. I don't have any littles anymore, so we don't have the school thing. There we go. All right, our broccoli has hit the halfway mark. Now, some people like to shake it, other people don't like to shake it. I kind of like to shake it because I kind of like to know what's going on. Remember, there's so many different brands of air fryers. Air fryers cook so differently. So we're just gonna take a look. I'm gonna pop in right here. So that's what our broccoli looks like right now. And we're just gonna give it a quick little toss. While we wait for our chicken, all I'm gonna do is just kind of give it a stir around. It's nowhere near done. And that brings me to the question, do you like your broccoli crispy? Do you like it just cooked? What do you like? All right, I have never had the chicken stick this long. There we go. Now the chicken will let off some juices, and that's totally normal. Some chicken will let off more juices than other batches. So today, there is not a lot of extra liquid in here, where sometimes there's quite a bit, and I know you know what I'm talking about. So you're noticing as I'm going through, there's some areas that I see that are stuck, and I'm scraping those off. I do have a straight edge wooden spoon, and I'm just lifting anything that's stuck using the liquid that's already here in the pressure cooker. But it won't surprise me if we get a burn notice today, which actually would be great, because then I can show you what I do. I rarely get burn notices though. So we'll see. And I'm just working around. So this chicken is now plenty cooked. We can go ahead and we can turn the pressure cooker off. The goal is to cook the chicken so it's not stick together. Okay, that's the goal. So now when I put in the rest of the ingredients, the chicken will cook under pressure and finish cooking. All right, so the rest of this recipe goes like this. We're gonna put the onions in. Now in my recipe, I talk about putting the onions in first, cooking the onions up. I wanted to try something different today. I wanted to do these onions separately. I'm just gonna break those up. And I've cut them rather large. I've cut them in quarters because I want a nice big piece of onion with my meal today. And then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna add ketchup. So it's about a half cup of ketchup. And then we're gonna add in some soy sauce. I'm gonna get the rest of this garlic out of here. So we're just gonna pour that. Okay, now stir this all up. Your soy sauce will act as your thin liquid to bring the pressure cooker up to temperature. We've broken up the onions as best as we can, and we're gonna turn this on. Now this is going to cook for about 4 minutes under pressure, and then we're gonna do a quick release. And since I know the question's gonna come up, yes, you could cook rice with this. If you're gonna cook rice with it, you would need to put a tall trivet, and you would need to use the pot and pot, where you would put a cup of rice and a cup and a quarter of water. I like to do a little bit more water than the 1-to-1 on top, and then you would cook it for 6 minutes, allowing for a 6-minute natural pressure release. But we're not gonna do that today. We're just gonna do the chicken. We're gonna close the pressure valve. We'll turn it to the front here, and we're gonna set this for 4 minutes today. So pressure cook, use your plus and minus keys until you reach 4, and then you're gonna wait until you hear the beep. And remember, the beep is just telling you that it's accepted those readings, that it's going to take whatever setting you set, so the 4 minutes, and it's gonna start heating up that bottom element again. It's gonna bring all of the ingredients inside the pot to a boil. When it comes to a boil, it'll create steam, and steam, of course, will create pressure, and the pressure will seal off the pressure valve in the back of your Instant Pot. And that's when your timer's going to start. It'll take about another minute or so. And then you're gonna see this front panel change from on to whatever time, so 4 minutes. And then those numbers are gonna count down in time. So as those cook, it'll go 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, and then it'll beep at us. Today we're gonna do a quick release, which means we're going to open up the pressure valve and release all that steam and go from there. All right, let's move this out of the way, and let's check on our broccoli. So, ooh, okay, let's go top down. I'm excited. Look at this. Okay, do you see how some of it is a little crispy on the edges? But not like a lot crispy, just a little crispy? That looks amazing. Now, at this point, you can cook longer. So what we did is we preheated our air fryer to 400 degrees, and we cooked it for 10 minutes. And halfway through, I shook it up and put it back in. So at this point, you could put it back in for another 2 to 5 minutes if you want it really crispy. If you don't, this is how we like it. We pull it out right here. But I do like to season it up with some Parmesan cheese. You could spritz some lemon juice on top of this as well. There's lots of different things you could still add to it. But this is done. Did you see how quick that was? Super quick, right? So I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit of Parmesan cheese on top, just because that's how we like it. And then I'm just gonna put this back in the air fryer just to stay warm right now. So it's not cooking, it's just kind of sitting in there, holding still, doing its thing. All right, let's go to questions while we're waiting. Okay, Gail says, breasts in this recipe will be fine. It's not cooked long. I've made similar. Yes, so what question are you responding to? Oh, Mary. Mary's asking if she can use chicken thighs. You can use chicken thighs if you'd like, but I'm using cube chicken. So if you're using thighs, make sure that you are cubing them up. This recipe would also work really well with a chicken tender. And chicken tenders you could leave whole, but you do need to cook chicken tenders for 6 minutes to make sure that they get cooked all the way through. And so if you were using boneless, skinless thighs, you could probably do those for 6 minutes and they would be cooked as well. But I'd brown them first before I got things going. Kathy must have said something about thighs. Okay, see what happens when I get busy cooking? Okay, Kathy says, I love fresh cauliflower and broccoli in the air fryer. Absolutely. So in this recipe, for the frozen broccoli, you could substitute and use a frozen vegetable mix. You could add frozen broccoli and cauliflower and cook it both at once. You can substitute your favorites, okay? And if you want to use fresh, the recipe is the same, but the time it cooks will be a little longer. Obviously, because a fresh broccoli or fresh cauliflower just takes a little bit longer to cook and air fry, but it's delicious and you haven't heated up your house and it cooks so quick, so easy. It's just wonderful. Sigrid says, I like a little crispy on my veggies. I do too. Hi, Doreen, how are you? Phyllis, yes, Phyllis, you must have asked the question, what is the temperature? So on the air fryer, if you're just joining in, welcome, welcome. It's wonderful to have you here. Preheat your air fryer, 400 degrees, so it's nice and toasty hot. Either spray the inside of your basket with an olive oil spray or use a parchment paper liner and place your frozen broccoli that you've seasoned with a little bit of olive oil and your favorite seasonings. And then you're going to cook it for 8 to 10 minutes. I did mine for 10 minutes and I shook the basket halfway through and tossed that broccoli around and then let it cook. When you pull it out and we saw it and it was a little crispy on the edges, that's when I stop because that's where we like it. But you can go ahead and add another 2 to 5 minutes if you want it more crispy. And remember, today I used a package of 12 ounces of frozen broccoli, but if you use more, it can take a little bit longer. So be aware of that, especially if it's a thicker layer on the bottom of your air fryer, okay? But now you've got the quickest, simplest, easy side dish. So simple, so easy. All right. You guys are fantastic. Okay, so then Sigrid says, oh, lemon juice on broccoli. I'm going to try it with this recipe. Yes, lemon juice. Sprinkle a little bit of lemon juice on top of the broccoli after it's cooked, whether it's fresh or frozen. It's really good. Super simple, easy thing to add. Dar, great question. So if I get a burn notice, what will I do? The dreaded burn notice that we're all terrified of, right? Well, we got to stop the process because something's burning and the pressure cooker is no longer keeping track of all the minutes and things that's going on. So we have to release the pressure. So I would release the pressure and try to see if I could figure out what's stuck to the bottom and get it lifted off. Sometimes that means you have to take everything out of the pot and wash the pot, which can be so frustrating, okay? The real question is, what are you cooking inside? Because if you've gotten a burn notice and you're cooking the chicken, well, I might be able to look at the chicken and say, we've almost met our full heating process. The chicken's cooked all the way through. And so I can finish the rest off by just using sauté, right? Because there isn't anything else in this recipe that really needs to cook through. But if I was cooking pasta or rice that wasn't done cooking, but the process was halfway started, then what do I do? That's where it becomes a little more tricky. And you have to kind of learn and guesstimate. And I know it's a judgment call and it's tough, but keep in mind, if it's already cooked for a couple of minutes and your total cooking time was 4 minutes or 6 minutes or 8 minutes, but it's already cooked some of that, recognize that you only need a little bit left to finish cooking that process, okay? You don't have to start all the way from scratch and cook that whole process, or your pasta will be overcooked or your rice will be overcooked. And so you don't want that. So you do have to guesstimate, unfortunately. Dar says, does the parchment paper lining have to have holes? Yes. Having holes allows air to flow. So Kathy answered that question. Thank you, Kathy. The holes in the parchment paper allow the air to flow up through and around. If the parchment paper was one solid piece, the air wouldn't be coming up from the bottom, and it would change the way it cooks inside of the air fryer, because the air would only be able to come up on the sides. You're not getting air through the center. Okay, so it's super important to keep that airflow in and going all the way around. Now, sometimes we're putting things in there like, chicken breasts, which are big, which cover up a lot of those holes. That's okay. But we want to have that airflow going around so we get the whole thing going on in there. Makes a big difference. All right. If you are watching this live today, will you please give it a thumbs up? Will you please give it a heart? And if you have shared this into a group or onto your timeline, big hugs from me to you. Seriously, I am so grateful to have all of you here. It's always fun to hang out. And I'm going to drop these links again. There's the hearts. I just saw the hearts going. On my end, they just go up across the screen. I don't see names associated with them. I just see hearts. So it's kind of fun. I just dropped the link for the air fryer broccoli again. So if you're joining late, welcome. This is a safe place to ask your questions. And we are live on both Facebook and on YouTube. And if you are watching this on the replay, don't hesitate to leave your questions. I will circle back around and answer those questions the best that I can to help you out too. All right, you guys are quiet. What else you got going on? I've got some fun trips coming up. Kind of fun. End of season trips that we're doing. All right, where are we at? Oh, we got 1 minute left. Now, when this beeps at us, we're going to release the pressure. So remember to move your pressure cooker away from your cabinets and away from any low-hanging light fixtures or whatever, because that steam is going to shoot up and it will ruin your cabinets over time. But we're going to release that pressure. And then we're going to open it up and we're going to make a cornstarch slurry. So we can go ahead and get that ready to go. And I'm just going to take, 2 tablespoons of cornstarch and a little bit of water and stir that up. So we'll get our cornstarch slurry ready. But when we open it up, we're going to add honey. And the reason we don't add honey to begin with is honey is thick, right? It's thick and it will cause a burn notice because it'll sit right on the bottom and it won't mix in. So we just wait till the end to add that honey, that sweetener. Now the recipe calls for quite a bit. You can tone it back. You really can. Okay, do you hear the beep? I'm just gonna open this up. We'll let that pressure out. We're gonna get rid of that wooden edge spoon. I'm gonna get out a silicone scraper. And we got our honey all ready. Oh, Sigrid, you're going to Morocco in September on a girls trip? Whoa, that is fantastic. Sylvia says everything looks great. It smells really good too. I get to go see the grandkids, so Little Miss and Honey Bear. It has been almost 3 months since I've seen the girls, and Little Miss is turning 3, so I will be out for her birthday and my birthday, and gonna get to spend some time with them, which will be really fun. And then I've got another trip back to Orlando for another Moonlight Magic that I've been invited on with one of you viewers, which is absolutely fantastic. I'm so excited. I went to a Moonlight Magic in Animal Kingdom in July. So Moonlight Magic, if you're not familiar with what that is, it's an after-hours special event held at one of the Disney World parks. All the regular guests are excused from the park, and you have to have a special wristband entry to get in. and extra characters come out, and the rides are open, and there's dance parties that go on, and it's just a huge fun event. And I was able to go to that one in July at Animal Kingdom. Well, I get to go back, and this time it'll be in Hollywood Studios. So I'm super excited for that. It'll be a lot of fun. Phyllis, I'm reading. You must have put up what temperature it is. Oh, Phyllis, going to be 103 today. Perfect for the Instant Pot. Wow. I have to tell you, we've been in a little bit of a cold spell here. And when I say a little bit of a cold spell, I'm telling a lot. So my kids live in hot weather, really hot, 110. And I was talking with them and mentioning that at noon, it was still in the 60s here with a nice breeze. I think that day we got up to like 73, 74. Today it's warmer. I think we're getting up to 80 degrees maybe today. I don't know. Let me check. Let's see what we are. Oh, yeah, we're 82. That's not so bad. Okay. The pin dropped. So let's get this over here. We're gonna let some of the steam go away before I'm able to turn this camera on. Camera does not like to focus. There we go. So you can see we have got a lot of liquid going on in here. I'm gonna turn the saute button off, or on, I mean, sorry. We're gonna turn it on because I need to get things heating up, and I'm going to add, I hope this is enough cornstarch. Because we've got a lot of liquid going on. Like I said earlier, the amount of liquid sauce that this is gonna make is a lot. So keep that in mind. You can add a lot of extra chicken to this. Oh, that's thickening up nicely. Now, I'm gonna start adding in some honey. Because remember, we've only added ketchup and soy sauce, which probably doesn't taste that good. And all of the heat will help to melt this honey. And I'm just gonna taste, because I don't like it overly sweet, but I don't want it bitter. Maybe just a smidgen more. So we have probably put in, oh, not even a half cup of honey. And I'm gonna leave it there. Now as that sauce thickens up, it's done. Like that's all it needs. And the reason we're heating it up is to help thicken that sauce. And it'll hold on the back of the spoon here. The other thing is the sauce will thicken as it cools, which is wonderful too. Okay, Mary has a question about Clean Simple Eats. Mary's asking, when I make my protein shake, so if you're just following along, I use the protein Clean Simple Eats. I do have a discount code, Devour Dinner, one word, all caps, which will get you 10% off your order. She's asking, does using a frother in mixing the protein shake make the protein shake thicker? No, not necessarily. What it does is it helps to blend everything together, and it kind of makes it wispy and light, but it doesn't necessarily make it thick like a shake. The way I get mine thick like a shake is I put it in a blender with ice. So I use 8 ounces of milk or almond milk or coconut milk or a juice, and I use about 10 ice cubes with the scoop of protein powder. And then I blend it up and that's how I get it into a thicker consistency for a shake. Sigrid, it's 76 in Maine, or Kathy it is. Sigrid, yes, I do serve the chicken with rice, and I do have rice that's already cooked off screen. So I'm gonna grab that and we're gonna plate this up. So I don't know if you can hear or if you can hear, but as I'm stirring this, you can hear that the sauce is bubbling and thick. Can you hear that? That's the sauce because it's thickening up as I'm scraping it off the bottom and the sides. All right, we're gonna go ahead and cancel that. Now, this sauce will thicken as it cools. All right, for those of you who have watched my lives forever, I have a question for you. Because like I said earlier, I've been playing with the settings of this camera, and today, if you notice, it's changing the lighting, right? It goes to really bright, but you're able to see down in the pot. All around here is really blown out, right? Because this is not where the camera's focusing. Do you like that? What do you like? I just want to know what you like. Because watch, when I move this away, look what it does. It tones down and it's not as bright anymore. Kind of fun, huh? So let me know in the comments on that camera. Okay, now I'm gonna get some rice. We're gonna plate this up. We're gonna put some broccoli on the plate and we're gonna taste test because it's fun. So hold on, I got the rice right here. Just take a deep breath. I'll be right back. Here we go. Okay, that's off. Let's go back to our top down. Now I'm gonna use just a ladle to dish some of this up. Look at that sauce. You see how thick that sauce is? And of course you could drizzle some of this sauce right on top of the rice if you wanted. That is beautiful. You see that? Okay, now what's fun to do is add a little bit of sesame to the top. So just a little bit of sesame seeds as a garnish. You can also add, let's get this little guy back up here. There we go. You can also add just some of the ends of the little green onions. It just does give a little pop of color. And remember, when we eat with our eyes first. And so that green gives it definition, it gives it contrast, all the good things. All right. You remember our friends, the broccoli over here? Let's get some broccoli out. There we go. Is that not beautiful? Look at it. All right, we're gonna give you two up close. There we go. So, so pretty. Our onions, by the way, for anyone who's interested, here's an onion right here. If you were worried about these big onions, look. This is like a perfect sauteed. It's all cooked down. I don't know if you can even tell that on camera really well. Like, it's totally translucent. I love onions. Oh, that's good. All right, I want to try some of the chicken. I'm telling you, that is so good. So good. Okay, let's add some broccoli. Spot on. The broccoli still has some crunch. And of course it has those crispy edges. So it's beautifully done. You still see that? Because it's sat a little bit, it's a little bit softer, but you get the gist of it. That is a beautiful, beautiful meal, you guys. I hope you will make this recipe at home this week. Put it down. You saw how quick and easy it was to throw this all together. This one we haven't made here for a while. I'm always busy making so many other recipes, it's really hard to circle back around for some of these other recipes that we just haven't done. And so this was fun today. I'm excited to have this for dinner, and I hope you are too. If you make this recipe, if you've made other recipes this week, will you hop on over to devourdinner.com and leave a comment and a star rating? I can't tell you how much that helps me, and it lets others know that you've tried it, what you liked about it, if you added anything. Put that in the comments. It makes a huge difference. And for those of you that may not know, I have a second site called bestcookierecipes.com. There is so much fun going on over there. And we're planning for the holidays with holiday Halloween cookies and Christmas cookies and fall cookies, and all of those good things are coming up right around the corner. So if you're not following me over there, hop on over to that Facebook page and follow me. Follow me on Instagram as well. Sign up for those newsletters where I send out newsletters. If you are on the Devour Dinner newsletter, I'm going to start sending 2 newsletters a week. One on Sunday that is going to be called Sizzling Sunday, and we'll give you some menu ideas and we'll let you know the recipes going on for our Facebook Live. And then midweek, I'm going to send you out what's popular and get something in your inbox to help answer the question, what's for dinner, so that you don't have to even think about it. So I hope you'll like that. Sigrid is asking, will I be live next Sunday? Yes, I will be live next Sunday. And so next Sunday we will do another Instant Pot recipe, and maybe I'll throw in another air fryer recipe because it's fun. I don't know what we'll do yet. Something great, I'm sure. But yes, I will be live. So 3 o'clock Mountain Time next week, I will be back, and I can't wait. Mary sent big hearts. Sigrid says, I'm going to make this. Okay, I'm holding you to it. I want to know how you like it. Kathy says, hi, Finn. Yes, Finn. My heavens, that dog. He doesn't like it when I talk, and he wants to be a part of things too. And he's blocked out of the kitchen because the problem is if you saw all the lights and the cameras and the cords that it takes to hook up to the laptop and to hook up to the camera, I can't have a dog walking around because he'll trip on something, and the camera equipment is just way too expensive. So he gets locked out and he doesn't like it. He wants to be here. All right, everybody, have a fantastic week. I'm going to go ahead and eat dinner. I hope you have a happy Sunday. Thank you for following along. Thank you for the love. Be safe. Most importantly, be kind. Slow down in life. Just be kind. Let somebody in when they're trying to merge. Help somebody unload their groceries at the grocery store into their car. Just be kind. Life is hard, and we never know what battle somebody is fighting. All right, everybody. Until next week. Bye now.